Hi, I'm Donna. I'm a clinical exercise physiologist. This video today is about cardiovascular exercise, which we all know provides amazing benefits to our health across many dimensions. It's one of the most effective interventions we have available to us. Let's find out more. Cardiovascular fitness is the ability of the heart and blood vessels to supply oxygen-rich blood to the working muscle tissues during sustained physical activity. A prescription for medication tells you everything you need to know: the name of the medication, the dose, how many times a day to take it, and for how long you should take it. Exercise will help control your weight, reduce your risk of heart disease, manage blood sugar and insulin levels. It will help you quit smoking. It will improve your mood, and it slows cognitive decline. Exercise is so effective and so powerful, it can be considered as a kind of natural medicine. Let's think about writing yourself an exercise prescription to get the most benefits from your exercise time. How often should you exercise? Which intensity level is best? What type of exercise should you choose? And for how long should you exercise? What makes a specific exercise cardiovascular? Well, it uses large muscle groups. It increases your heart rate and breathing. It is continuous and rhythmic in nature, and you can sustain it. You can keep it up. What about gardening? Well, if you're pushing the lawnmower for an hour, yes, I would consider that cardiovascular. It would certainly get your heart rate up. But what if you're sitting in a garden bench potting petunias? Probably not so much. So you can see it depends. Let's think about golf. Is it cardiovascular? Well, it can be if you're walking throughout the game. If you're riding in the cart, or worse, sitting in the bar, probably not cardiovascular. Some types of dance are extremely demanding on the cardiovascular system, and some are not. I'm sure you'll agree that this gentleman is probably not elevating his heart rate. Can you think of another kind of dance that would be better at challenging his cardiovascular system? Definitely. Swimming is cardiovascular exercise. It is hard work to not drown in deep water. Tennis. Is it cardiovascular? Again, it depends on the kind of tennis that you're playing. Do you mostly stand at the net chatting with your opponent? Or are you an intense singles player? What about weightlifting? Probably not. It is not continuous and rhythmic in nature. It's more start and stop. Although your heart rate is elevated, it's brief and it's not continuously lifted into the proper zone for 10 minutes at a time. Which type of cardiovascular exercise is your favorite? It is recommended that you exercise at least 30 minutes at a moderate level intensity most days of the week. This can be done in short bouts of at least 10 minutes each. This is because it takes time for your body to adapt to the needs of exercise. Once your body is ready to deliver the correct blood pressure, the correct heart rate, and the blood to the muscles that need it, then you need adequate time spent in that state to trigger the changes and benefits that we want. Begin with a 5-minute warm-up, such as walking or cycling at an easy pace. Then ramp up the intensity to a moderate level and sustain it for 30 minutes. Next, move into a strength training phase, such as a Pilates mat routine or free weights for 10 minutes at moderate intensity. Finish with a 10-minute stretch session to cool down. It's important to monitor your exercise intensity. That is, how much are you exerting yourself through exercise? We can measure this by your heart rate or by your rating of perceived exertion. Your target heart rate range for exercise will be 60 to 85% of your maximum heart rate, which is found by subtracting your age from 220. There are many online calculators to do this. Just search on Target Heart Rate Calculator. Beta blockers such as metoprolol or atenolol will have a dampening effect on your heart rate. If you are taking any of these medications, it would be better to not use heart rate as a guide in determining your exercise intensity. This scale will help you identify how exercise feels to you. Ideally, it will feel challenging, but not too intense. Even though your heart rate may not be a good indicator of how hard you are exercising, you will still breathe harder and your muscles will become tired. A good goal would be a 5 or a 6. High intensity would be a 7 or an 8. Be watchful for signs and symptoms of overexertion as you establish your new exercise habit. Use your signs and symptoms and level of fatigue to help you determine if you're working too hard. Symptoms you should be watchful for are dizziness, faintness, nausea. If you're feeling shaky, extremely out of breath, or if you're having any chest pain or pressure, you should stop exercising immediately and contact your physician or cardiac care team for next steps. Gradually increase your session time before you increase intensity. For example, on a treadmill, make sure you can walk comfortably for 5 minutes at a low intensity before you begin increasing the speed. These recommendations are for optimal health benefits. If you have been sedentary for some time and you can't exercise for 30 minutes, it's okay. You'll still receive substantial benefits from doing what you can, even if it's just 10 minutes a day. Use your signs and symptoms of overexertion and your level of fatigue to help you determine the correct amount of exercise for you. Gradually increase your weekly amount of exercise. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. You can do it.